Hey friends, finally the moment has come. After months of waiting, Garten of Banban 8 is almost here and we're just a few days away. Only 4 days separate us from the new chapter and the hype is through the roof. Just a few hours ago, the developers of the game, Faris and Geppo, the euphoric brothers, released a lot of new messages on their Discord server, and some of them are really super important because they contain hints and direct connections to Chapter 8. In this video, we're going to check out all the most interesting messages, analyze every detail, and try to figure out what might happen in the new chapter. So, if you're as curious as I am and you want to stay updated on all the news about Garten of Banban 8, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a big like on this video. That way, you won't miss any theories, any previews, or any secrets about what's coming next in the game. Get ready, because what we're about to see today could completely change the way we think about what's waiting for us in the new chapter. These messages are very important because they are connected to the new chapter. And they are also related to the new countdown picture. Now let's not waste any more time and jump straight into all the most important messages that Faris and Geppo shared just a few hours ago on Discord, connected to Garten of Banban 8. Now let's move on to the first really interesting message that we want to analyze, because it gives us some clues about what might happen in the next few days. On the Discord server, a user asked Faris if today the countdown image for the 4 remaining days before the release of Chapter 8 would be published. Faris's answer was quite cryptic. He said that he cannot answer. At first glance, it might seem like a normal response, but if we compare it with what happened yesterday, we notice something very interesting. In fact, yesterday, when someone asked if a countdown image would come out today, Faris replied clearly and directly, immediately confirming that it would not be released. It was a clear, definitive answer with no room for interpretation. Today, however, the situation is slightly different. Faris did not say no, he only said that he cannot answer. This small change in language is very important, because it could mean that the possibility of seeing a new countdown image today really exists, even though it is not officially confirmed, so we cannot rule it out. It could appear at any moment, and if it does, it might contain valuable details about Chapter 8, the characters, or even the new locations. For us fans, this is the kind of message that really increases the excitement. Even a simple "I cannot answer" can mean many things. Maybe the developers are preparing something special, maybe they want to surprise us at the last moment, or maybe they are just protecting secret details. In any case, we must keep our eyes open, check Discord, and be ready to react as soon as something new appears. So, even if there is no absolute certainty, this message tells us that today there is a small possibility of seeing a new countdown image. It is exactly these small signals that make waiting for Chapter 8 so thrilling. Every word, every reply from the euphoric brothers can contain hidden clues and details not to be missed. Now let's move on to another very important message that directly concerns the release date of Chapter 8 and helps us understand how far along the game development is. A user on Discord asked Faris if Chapter 8 would be delayed further. Faris's answer was very clear and reassuring. There will be no more delays. This means that, barring any last-minute issues, the game will be officially released on the 28th of August. As we all know, Chapter 8 was initially scheduled for the 21st of August, according to the announcements made by the euphoric brothers from the first teasers and countdowns. However, as often happens with complex game development, the developers decided to postpone the release date by 1 week, moving it to the 28th of August. This is because they wanted a little extra time to further improve the game, refine details, fix bugs, and ensure that everything works perfectly. In short, it wasn't a random delay, it was a strategic choice to guarantee fans a fully polished and smooth gaming experience. But the most interesting thing comes from another piece of information we recently discovered. As we saw in yesterday's video, Geppo shared an image showing that Chapter 8 is already installed on his PC. This detail makes one thing very clear. The game is practically ready, or at least in a very advanced state, and only the final step is left before it becomes available to everyone. In other words, we shouldn't expect more weeks or months of waiting. Chapter 8 is there, ready to be officially released on the 28th of August. So, considering all these elements, we can say that there is very little time left. Only 4 days of waiting separate us from finally playing and discovering all the secrets Faris and Geppo have hidden in this new chapter. We can expect new and more complex environments, mysterious characters, and maybe even some unexpected surprises, just as the previous chapters have prepared us for. Moreover, this message gives us an important confirmation. The long wait is finally coming to an end. After all the hype, teasers, and cryptic messages, we will finally get our hands on Chapter 8, experience all the emotions waiting for us, and see if the theories we have made so far were correct. It's a truly exciting moment for all fans of the series because we are about to discover the best chapter of the series so far with detailed work, surprising novelties, and many little surprises that will make the gaming experience unique. In short, Faris's message officially confirms that Chapter 8 will be released without further delays, and all we can do is prepare for these last few hours of waiting, counting down the days and keeping our eyes open for any new images, teasers, or announcements that the Euphoric Brothers might release before the big day. Now, let's move on to a really interesting message from Geppo that gives us a clear idea of what to expect from Chapter 8 in terms of quality and innovations. A user asked Geppo if this would be the best chapter ever made so far, referring to all aspects of the game: graphics, animations, character movements, and overall atmosphere. Geppo's answer was very clear and decisive. Chapter 8 will be the best chapter of the series so far, in every possible aspect. And looking at what we've seen over the past few months, we can say that this statement is fully confirmed. Already from the latest teaser trailer, and especially from the final trailer, we could notice all the improvements made by the developers. For example, we can see a completely renewed graphics, with more detailed and clean design. The character animations are smoother and more natural, making every movement more realistic and immersive. While the atmospheres have been made even creepier and more horror-like, with settings that manage to convey tension and mystery in every scene. It's no coincidence that Chapter 8 is receiving so much attention from fans. For this chapter, in fact, Faris and Geppo dedicated much more time compared to previous chapters. Every detail was carefully crafted, from lighting to sound effects up to the gameplay elements that make the experience more intense and engaging. The developers' goal was clear: to create a chapter clearly better than the past ones, and to raise the overall quality of the series, making fans feel that every new chapter is a true evolution compared to the previous one. In short, reading and analyzing this message, we can understand how Chapter 8 represents a quality leap for the entire series. This is not just about adding some new animation or slightly modifying the graphics. We are talking about a real overall improvement work, which makes this chapter special and unique compared to everything we've seen so far. Basically, Geppo confirms that when we finally get to play Chapter 8, we will experience a more intense, detailed, and scarier game than ever, with a series of new features that make this chapter truly unmissable for all fans of the series. Every element, from graphics to gameplay, has been developed with the goal of surprising and engaging us to the fullest, taking the game quality to a higher level. And with this, we've seen all the most important messages released by Faris and Geppo regarding Chapter 8. As you could see, there are so many interesting details and small hints that show us how special, polished, and engaging this new chapter will be. So, stay tuned, because the wait is almost over and the next few days will be crucial for the release of Chapter 8. We don't know what will happen in the next teasers or messages, but one thing is certain: Chapter 8 promises to be the best chapter of the series so far, and we want to experience it together with you, step by step. Thank you all for watching the video until the end. See you in the next video, and get ready, because Chapter 8 is just around the corner. Bye friends!